Yeah.
Good comments, Jeff. Good comment there, Jeff.
Hello, welcome to Neighborhood News. George Webb investigates.
Well, there's nothing like when they say "I told you so." I don't want to be that guy, Aaron. Aaron's just sitting across the way from me. That you're seeing one shot of the neighborhood newsroom, another shot.
We're all here.
We're sitting here at the we're all around the AI iteration bench here, but nothing like "I told you so." You want to follow news agencies that put the pieces together and so forth, that say, "Hey, they're going to do an October surprise. Hey, it's going to be assassination." They got a little bit of an early start. They did 3 assassinations. Rendering is going to be the next thing. Rendering, or that's the CIA word for state-sponsored kidnapping, is the next thing. We said rendering was a possibility, right? That they would render an illegal abduction of Donald Trump before the election. Everyone said, crazy, 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 crazy. How could that be? That could never happen. The president of the United States would never say lock him up ever in the last 2 weeks before an election, 13 days to go an election. That never would happen. Mark here, involved with 3 Pulitzers, right? Toledo and Dallas. He says that never would happen. No one would ever weigh in, especially a lame duck president. No lame duck president would ever weigh in and say lock him up. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Neighborhood News and our great group of researchers is right again. Biden yesterday said lock him up, right? And he also defended permissible assistance. We'll get to permissible assistance, which allows DoD snipers to open fire. Great graphic by Aaron Adler. Open fire.
More importantly, horrendous, declaration or directive, DoD directive from our DoD. Intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities, and the permissible assistance section 3.2, permissible assistance. It's more of that, thought crime, preemptive, like.
And Joe Biden in the video that you'll hear and see on my Substack defends what is called vis-a-vis. When you feel your life is threatened, you have to have some kind of visibility of who you believe the threat is and who you believe the imminent threat is. So vis-a-vis is a very important matter. Local law enforcement usually means the distance between Aaron and I, which is about 6 feet, where you feel like your life is in danger, and so it justifies the use of lethal force. Vis-a-vis now, with this permissible assistance, has been extended out to almost maybe a mile. If you, with a rangefinder, can find the person you think is threatening your life from a mile away, or crooks. This is why they put crooks in the programming, right? If you can say, "Oh, there's a crook out there with a rifle a mile away," right now I can take him out. He's now putting vis-a-vis a threat on my life, right? Now you'll hear Joe Biden specifically defend vis-a-vis. But Joe Biden, in the statement of saying lock Donald Trump out, the key reason why he's saying Trump wants to get rid of vis-a-vis. He wants to get rid of the protection of vis-a-vis. So, Aaron, I hate to say I told you so. I hate to say we told you so, but we told you so. We said that there would be the assassination attempts, 3 of those, July to now, and now the rendering. And now we also took you to the place where we said the rendering would occur if it did occur, which is the Novi Showplace. Novi Showplace is where Paul Whelan used fake uniforms to get police in. It is the same place where he brought in 12 Russians every election cycle over the last 2 years, over 20 years, with Butina being the most famous one. Guess where Donald Trump's going to be 72 hours from now? Novi Showplace.
He told his team, hey, enough of this Coachella, New York. I'm tired of going places for checks. I want to be where it matters. Send me to the most important place at the most important time, which is Michigan. So he's put a couple more Michigan dates on the schedule. We got Novi coming up Saturday, which is obviously the one where we're like, whoa, that's.
Don't we have JD Vance up in
Waterford tomorrow? We'll get that one on the screen.
JD Vance. I mean, it's obvious it's Michigan.
And right? Trump's going to the night before Saturday. Trump will be in Pete Buttigieg's own Traverse City
over the border. Oh, up in the let's see.
That's way up there. Traverse City is very far from here. We're at the lower part of Michigan where Michigan meets the world.
Yeah, the glove.
Traverse City's way up there.
I'll do the opposite for the glove for the people. So that's like Alpena, where DHS has their simulation center, where we saw the folks going up Route 23 here. It was the second artillery with the 2 bars.
No, it was 200 and something.
We'll get the unit that we saw going up the for the wargaming, but then Traverse City is more over on this side, on the Lake Michigan side. All right, you'll bring up the graphics.
Yeah, we'll get it.
I sometimes have to do the hand puppets myself because we don't get the great graphics. Yeah, this is what we saw. This is the 372nd.
Well, you want to just?
Well, you can bring it up on the thing, but this is the. Oh, sorry about that. The 372nd emblem. This is in the Substack, but the 372nd here is the engineering brigade. So that's the one with the castle, protecting the castle and the moats and doing the demolition and all that.
Engineers?
No, it was a military. Alpena. Well, we can talk about Alpena a little bit, but okay. Sets this up. Nobody said that there would be Trump assassinations. We said there was 3 of them. We said it would be Coachella, Indio. It was in Coachella, Indio. We said it was going to be in Las Vegas. That had already happened. There's the 372nd. We had one in Mar-a-Lago. We went to Mar-a-Lago more times than anybody can count. It happened in Mar-a-Lago. We're going to the places where Paul Whelan. We're going to the places where people recruit snipers, bring them in every election cycle, 12 at a time. Right? It's not genius work, right? You go on past experience in our Bayesian methodology, right? We went to Las Vegas more times than anybody could count. How many times we go to Paul Whelan's places in Las Vegas? You couldn't count them. At least 5 in the last 30 days. But it appears because the real action is here in Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer's here. She's the one who had the fake kidnapping here. She's the one who controls the state militia here. They're doing the exercises at the DHS Center in Alpena. All the Trump events are here. The J.D. Vance events are here. The Donald Trump Jr. events are here. The Trump family events are here. It's either here or Pennsylvania, right? The assassination or rendering, dirty tricks, October surprise, will it be either here or Western Michigan, we predict. Maybe Florida, possibly as an outside. And Denny's coming in. We probably have to lock the door. Not that we don't love Denny, but he just can't be in the middle of our broadcast. So,
John, go run intercept with Denny there.
Yeah. When Denny comes in, he might go to Todd's Guns. So
he'll probably go to Todd's first, and then
here.
Yeah.
So, but we have what's really great about our retail politics here is we have this sun vendor. We have this Donald Trump flag vendor out here selling all these flags, and our retail traffic mark. I mean, how many people yesterday that came into the
Couple dozen.
Yeah.
We're not even selling anything.
We're not even selling anything. The first thing we tell everybody is we're not selling anything. And they're like, what? Oh, we like you. We tell them it's a Trump. You can only talk Trump here. That's the only problem. You could talk about Harris if you want to, but we have a chemical storage area in the back. So you have your own room back there. So Aaron, why don't we go to the Substack and just go and show the people that this is not made up. This is not an exaggeration.
I was going to show them the flags here while I look.
Oh, yeah.
There's you. Keep talking.
This is our local flag vendor who showed up yesterday.
Hey guys.
And he's doing a great business.
So added some Trump here.
I'll bring him up there.
Yeah, so look, a lot of color here now at the neighborhood newsroom. We've added.
It's a huge group. So.
And of course,
And there's the flags.
there's the
And
newsroom.
there's our.
We'll close up the neighborhood
It
news.
used to be called Fortunate Finds this
We'll
place.
head right into the neighborhood newsroom.
What
Doing a show this
It was a Fortunate
Find
Find. And we just put an M over the F, Fortunate Minds. I mean, it was so simple.
Wonderful.
So it was quick.
There you have it, huh?
That shows you how this has just turned into a Trump explosion here on this corner. Make me small and make the article big, please. Nobody wants to see my hand.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I can see it.
So this is it. This is the georgewebb.substack.com, and we're going to war game this out now. We were waiting for the October surprise. We were waiting for the rendering, right? And this is permissible assistance. This is the whole idea of DOD snipers alongside law enforcement, seeing people a mile away, saying they're a threat, and taking you out, blowing your brains out at a distance. How can they really say that you're a threat to their survival? Now, they think they saw you with a gun. Maybe you had a Trump sign. And they mistook it for a gun. And now your head's now a part of the pavement. So this is what we're talking about. This is what we're wargaming between now and the election, permissible assistance. We go to the next video or next slide, and then we'll go to the open roundtable discussion here. Mark, thanks for putting in the roundtable. Appreciate it. Mark, through Mark's great benefice, we have the roundtable that we're sitting at right now. There's
Biden calls for the immediate arrest of Donald Trump before the November election. So,
yeah, and he says lock him up, and then under his breath he goes politically. So what's going to happen is everybody's going to say, well, they're talking about a rendering, they're talking about CIA rendering, they're talking about kidnapping, they're talking about taking Trump out before the election, and then they're going to have a Snopes article that comes out and says, no, Joe Biden didn't say render Donald Trump because he's whispered politically at the end. But here, just let's listen to the president himself.
I hope the audio is sharing. I got the audio all the way up here.
You got the audio all the way up?
You might want to turn it up too.
Let's just test it. I can hear it.
Hopefully our audience can hear it.
Hopefully the audience can hear it.
I mean, so I know this sounds
So,
bizarre. It sounds like
This is in New Hampshire?
Yeah, New Hampshire. Let's start over again
Okay.
and make me small, make the big so people can read.
Oh, I had you. Here we go.
There we go.
Don't know if the entire Department of Education. It's not a joke. He is talking about. Don't know if the entire Department of Education. He's talking. He means it. This is not a joke. This is a guy who also wants to replace every civil servant, every single one.
The audience can hear Joe?
Thinks he has a right under the Supreme Court ruling on immunity to be able, if need be, if it was the case, to actually physically eliminate, shoot, kill someone who he believes would be a threat to him. I mean, so I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We gotta lock him up. Politically lock him up. He is talking about.
There we have it. So,
Yeah, so
personal assistance from Joe.
yeah, and we'll go back to that. You have to hear this a couple of times. Like you have to listen for the vis-a-vis, which is Trump wants to permanently get rid of the shoot and kill. Shoot and kill is basically I feel threatened, therefore I shoot and kill. Right? He says specifically, this is mentioned specifically as why to render Trump. Now, just as a background, Department of Education started by Jimmy Carter in 1979. You were a beat reporter at that time, Mark, mainly because they wanted to push out the one world agenda, the green agenda. They were going to talking about the EPA, right? They were going to take state school boards, local school boards, and state departments of education and kind of tell them what they have to teach. So they're going to take the curriculum away from the local school boards. They were going to take the curriculum away from state boards of education or state departments of education and bring it to Washington. Then Washington was going to decide if you didn't teach DEI, if you did the school Pledge of Allegiance, you were going to get your funding pulled. If you were, following their rules in Washington, you were going to get the money pulled. And the number one reason that Joe Biden says to render Donald Trump is to protect the Department of Education, right? Which is a federal thing that was created in 1979. I went through high school before the Department of Education, right? Maybe that's why I'm not DEI. But I'm just saying we survived for almost 250 years as a nation without the Department of Education. What would be wrong with getting rid of the Department of Education, having parents make the curriculum again? Right, teachers making the curriculum again, PTA meetings. I went to more PTA meetings than you can count. That's how we used to do it at a local level.
It was because it even gets back to like the Roe versus Wade and the Chevron deference, okay? And it's essentially returning the power to the states instead of having the federal government making all of the decisions.
Yeah, if you remember, we used to say liberty, justice for all.
That was a Pledge of Allegiance also.
Allegiance, and it stopped right around then. So
Yeah. And then
say that before.
the one world government and the programming and so forth starts at that time, if you remember. There's a lot of reasons for the Department of Education, but most of them are programming. Most of them
When Richard Nixon improved the Environmental Protection Agency,
You're right.
when he was the Republican president going for that, he made the comment, with federal funding comes federal control.
Right.
And, and that's what we've dealt with.
Right. And that is basically what happened with education. If you think about all of the critical race theory that comes through. Now, there's some things that I think you're trying to get away from, which is the critical, teach white kids that kids of color are just equals. And
you're sending money off to Washington, okay? And then you have to do tricks like a dog to get the money back. And then you may not even get $1 back, for what you sent in.
And is that what Whitmer was pantomiming with the Doritos, where she was giving? Well, you remember this. Governor Whitmer here in Michigan gives a Dorito to a teacher on her knees, or a person playing a teacher on her knees, showing that if you don't do what I say, you're not no food for you, no Doritos for you. And it was I think Doritos gave her how much money did Doritos give for that placement? Like $50 million for that placement for her. But you literally, now other people came and said, oh, they're making fun of the Eucharist. Not the Eucharist, but the
Mike Church is pissed. Mike Church and his audience were very angry with that one.
Catholic audiences were very angry because they thought it was mocking, the transubstantiation, the taking of the sacrament.
There's a controversy amongst Catholics right now. Whether you're taking by hand or by mouth. Okay, and this whole Dorito thing, kind of stepped into that, by mouth.
Right.
Portion, which was going to be offensive to those who want the communion in their hand.
Where the priest places the wafer.
Yeah.
But I think this is really acting out the money from Lansing.
Yeah.
If your state school board wants the money, your teacher wants the money, you better get on your knees and put your tongue out and eat what we give you.
Yeah.
To me, that Gretchen Whitmer has nothing to do with religion.
Hmm.
She's the one at the state giving out money from Lansing to the local school boards.
But that was the subterfuge, or to try and deflect, that's what she was talking about.
Yeah. If you don't go out for Gretchen Whitmer and you're not out on the streets and saying Trump's bad, no Dorito free. That to me is what it says, because she's got a teacher on her knees and she's giving the teacher a Dorito. Look at her. And she's loving it. She's loving the Dorito. Right. And she's chewing up Trump. Trump is the big Dorito. Is Trump not the big Dorito? The 250 pound Dorito, right?
I hope we're not on too far of a tangent here, but there was another thing with the Doritos too. Remember when Kamala and Tim Walz went to like a mini mart or a Sheetz? Oh yeah, they went to a Sheetz. Ironically, after the Crooks shooter or whatever had the thing at Sheetz. But Kamala like gave Tim a bag of Doritos. It was like, oh, what's your favorite snack? Oh, I like Doritos, and she like found the Doritos and gave it to him, and they made a viral thing of that. So like something weird. There's some weird messaging.
Trump also went to a convenience store, and I can't remember where the convenience store was. I think it was in Butler, or it was in Pennsylvania. And he got some popcorn off the thing, a big giant bag of popcorn. I can't remember, but each one of these companies gives $1 million.
Well,
and then they get their little placement of some little play.
Well, there was an irony, that I had heard, like shortly after they visited Sheetz and didn't pay for the Dorito. that the Justice Department filed this $1 billion lawsuit against Sheetz for like discriminatory employment practices.
Oh wow! Now Sheetz is going to get some money out of this. Is that Paul Whelan with them? Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. See, there's what is with these nacho cheese Doritos? Like, there must be some other weird messaging that's like.
But what is good with beer? Nacho cheese Doritos are perfect with beer. So maybe
make American healthy again.
No, I think it's Trump did a popcorn thing. Look at Trump and popcorn.
Okay. We'll continue to watch
I know.
Remember back at Thanksgiving,
Doritos is the largest company in the world. Pepsi's the largest food and beverage.
They don't make people healthy.
They can write a bigger check though than the little popcorn company that Trump was sponsoring.
So remember back at Thanksgiving, and we were having a controversy about gas stoves, okay, and having a gas stove in your house. So here's Kamala and her husband wishing, America a happy Thanksgiving, and they're standing in front of a gas stove. It's
Yeah.
just like, what is the?
for you, but not for me.
That's
all
funny.
right.
Oh man, I
Here's the
missed
popcorn. So wait, Trump did the popcorn visit, and
First.
then Kamala and Tim did
and
the.
it wasn't a big, huge corporation like Pepsi, that owns Doritos. It was or maybe I'm thinking of Frito-Lay, but anyway, this one was a local mom and pop, literally, and I think they were trying to get it when corn popped. This was one of those events because remember Joe Biden said he had been stabbed by a vicious gangster named Corn Pop. Yeah, you never heard of Corn Pop?
No, I guess there's so much here though. There's so much weird predictive messaging.
Okay, and
Yeah.
the left just melted down with him, like making French fries and passing out orders at the drive-through window.
I mean, I think what they're trying to do is Trump has these PR coups, like, apprentice-like coups that travel very virally. And they're like, if we don't do something, it's going to be Trump and popcorn, right? And every time people get popcorn now, and it's sort of like an analogy for watching the corruption unfold when they say get the bowl of popcorn out.
Yeah.
So now they have to respond. And how are they going to respond? Well, they got to be crunching Doritos, right? They got to be eating Trump.
Yeah, that's the problem with their campaign. It's a catch-up campaign.
It is.
Yeah,
Maybe, and they use Heinz ketchup. They use. There's a Heinz ketchup place,
like that, but that's funny.
but it is true.
Yeah.
Look at the Heinz ketchup ad where they were going to splat Trump's brains.
Every time they try to one up,
Yeah.
fall flat.
They put out a thing after the first assassination. They put out a second one with the ketchup bottle saying, round 2 coming.
Oh,
Yeah, with the ketchup bottle. Yeah.
Oh, didn't like Soros' son
son.
retweeted the broken ketchup bottle?
Yeah, with
Like, that's so creepy. What is with these people?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was awful.
So now, Orlando Magic. Dave, the great
Oh,
Dave.
the comments
Underground.
here. We'll do comments here in a minute. I'm not fast enough on the draw.
That's
Get the
okay.
comments
Well,
in,
I wanted to go to Magic Mountain and Terrace Man in a second.
We will. We'll do all that.
Speaking of like ketchup bottles and all that, remember when we were kids? And there was
We
one of the
when we
shows-
were kids,
Right.
When we were kids, not
Yeah.
when they were kids.
Well, but there was, and I think it was Heinz. It was one of them. They sponsored a TV show, and they put the tomato on top of the bottle, and then the tomato was swallowed into the ketchup bottle.
Yeah, because the ketchup wanted a lot of tomatoes in it. Yeah, there was a selfish ketchup bottle. Remember, the ketchup bottle also was a place that spoke Spanish for the first time. I can't remember. Anticipación, or maybe that's French. I can't remember. But anyway, they had the what was her name? Anticipation. Making Carly Simon. Yeah. Carly Simon. That was
And then they like it anymore. The ketchup poured right out of the bottle.
There's no tomatoes in ketchup. There's only flavor saver, Bob Malone. Tomatoes.
Yeah, she stirred it up.
It's all Monsanto. Yeah, they got us on that. Bob, you got us on the tomatoes. But Heinz is one of the Rosemont Seneca guys with Hunter Biden, right? Heinz was one of the bundlers for Rosemont Seneca and Hunter Biden.
And what happened to poor Mr. Heinz? It's just
Whoa, the airplane crash. And then the family fortune goes over to a DNC operative, right? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Heinz died in an airplane accident?
Yeah,
Really?
the original Heinz, yeah. And then who married?
he was married to that woman from
There was like a Moroccan princess is involved.
she was from Mozambique.
Or no, Mauritania. I believe it's a Mauritanian princess.
No, it was Mozambique.
Okay, well, Mauritania, Mozambique.
That's
potato.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
We'll get that. But Teresa Heinz
Teresa
is
Heinz.
the ones who gave all the money to and was the money behind Rosemont Seneca, and they were
And then
defrauding
John
the-
Kerry married her.
And then John Kerry married her, and he was bundling all the cash through the Rosemont Seneca, through the Seneca Indian Nation in Western New York. So yeah, this is kind of fun. We're having a lot of fun.
Maria Teresa Simona Ferreira was born in Marquez, so Mozambique. Yeah, she's from Mozambique. Her parents were.
Not an Oconee slur though. Maybe when she was younger. I don't know. It's hard to say. But
Okay, very good.
getting back to the Trump rendering,
Yes.
I don't know how we could cover this any better. You want to go back to my Twitter where I did it? Went to the hockey arena in Novi, and I went to the showcase twice. I went to the showcase twice. The first one got knocked down on YouTube because I said, "Watch out, Trump! You might get shot here." So they took that down as some kind of threat toward Trump. How is that not a warning? Hey, Trump, when you go here, if you ever go here, don't. This is where Paul Whelan brought in all the sniper girls. This is the sniper girl that's the girlfriend of John D. Rockefeller IV. So this person is connected up to the highest levels of the world's richest people, right? This isn't some Russian girl that just came in to improve her hockey slap shot. She's in there, and she's John D. Rockefeller's girlfriend. She's also Patrick Byrne, who's worth $330 million. That's $0.3 billion. He's now getting involved in the campaign. He was putting Russian operatives into the Trump campaign. So, there's metadata coming out the windows here at the Novi Showcase Center. It's where I'm standing in front of the little lake. And I had to go back a second day. We spent a whole week out there in Novi. As a matter of fact, we have a citizen journalist right now camping close to Novi right now. And this was going to be the place where he said if there was going to be an October surprise with Paul Whelan with fake uniforms, it would be the Novi Police Department.
Back here, the Novi.
I'll mute it for now. You keep talking. It's muted at the moment. So,
well, I mean, we just said he brings in 12 Russian snipers. We said exactly how the men were brought in. They were brought into the hockey center in Novi. I went to the hockey center, showed where the men snipers were brought in. We went over to Kelly Services and showed where the women were brought in as executive assistants with Russian visas through the Russian embassy in Washington when he was working with Paul Palmer and he was working with Kelly Services. We went to these places and said, "Got to be here," right? And now Trump's coming there. I just found it hard to believe. After India, after predicted India, RFK. Remember, we were going to say it was another RFK assassination that was going to happen in India. Long gun, short gun, in the trunk. Here we go again now. And all Aurora, we said Paul Whelan in Aurora.
Aurora, Colorado. Yep.
Trump goes to Aurora, right? So
you wonder if somebody is scheduling these things in a the scheduler and the assassin don't necessarily communicate. Scheduler is just told, "Hey, run them through the gamut. Run them through all the locations where we've got assets, and at some point, one of the assets will do what they got to do. And the
target of opportunity.
Yeah, and the scheduler has no idea. All the scheduler knows is that here's our spots where we've got places that we can put Trump, and maybe someone will do the job, or maybe they won't.
Put him in
the
show.
Like all these places, in the showcase, Butler at AGR now. Now we're learning all this stuff about AGR. There's just the locations are
slaughter pens.
Are sus.
Slaughter pen. It's an American slaughter pen. He's going from slaughter pen to slaughter pen. Eventually, somebody's going to get him. And this one is they can render him. Watch for the guys. There's the hockey.
Here, we'll play the hockey video. This one's a little shorter.
This is the United States National.
I think the audience
Center,
can hear it, but we can't.
Here in Novi, Michigan, and
check here.
Just give you a little look.
Our live audience in the other room is hearing.
And the reason why we're going here and kind of reminding people of this location is because this is the key location Paul Whelan used to recruit snipers, both women and men. You may remember and we're only saying this because we had the Latvian goalie who died very mysteriously on 4th of July, if you remember that. But this is where he used, bringing in about 12 snipers a year in election years here in Novi. Remember, he falsifies his membership or his being a cop in Novi so that he can be carrying weapons and so forth. Youth hockey heroes as well. So, again, Trump going to Warren this afternoon. Maybe looking for Iranians.
Play?
But no, I think. Excuse me,
gentlemen. All right, there we go. So, yep, Trump will be in Novi Saturday. He's Traverse City Friday night, Novi Saturday. Then straight from Novi, he's flying to State College, Pennsylvania. So he's got noon in Novi on Saturday, and then 4 p.m. in State College, Pennsylvania on Saturday.
That's not far from our Windber
You know, I was
gathering.
thinking we could maybe have reporters at both locations. We could do, you know, straddling charrette. You're like, you know, from the studio, we could command it and have reporters in both places.
And have somebody, you know, looking to see which armed diplomatic security services people were getting on Trump's helicopter or Trump Force One, the plane, the 757, because if Paul Webb, he has access to the armed diplomatic security services as well. So it could be somebody who's either in the Secret Service or in the State Department. What do we got here?
So so Trump will be with Turning Point. So he's tonight at 7:00. He'll be at Turning Point in Georgia.
Duluth, Georgia.
Then he's going to be in Arizona tomorrow in the afternoon, and Las Vegas tomorrow in the evening again with Turning Point. Turning Point's really his guys. I mean, he really.
Turning Point is Peter
really,
Thiel.
Oh, really?
Turning Point is Peter Thiel. I mean, it's Charlie.
Kirk is
Charlie
the
Kirk, the front man, but I mean, the
Mm.
money man behind Turning Point is Peter Thiel.
That,
Mhm.
that makes sense now. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then State College is interesting too, because not
Penn
far
State.
from that is where Rockefeller had his summer home, bug out home. Gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I did a Substack on it. If you just search on Rockefeller in the Substack.
Somebody in our live chat, you know, even
But
where you're- yeah.
Rockefeller,
Not
you'll-
falling water. That's Franklin Lloyd Wright. That's
it looks like falling water though.
it's some like thing like that.
It's really close to there. But the reason why the Rockefellers wanted to go west in the mines is when the nuclear missiles first came out. You know, this was a John D. Rockefeller the third, John D. Rockefeller the fourth.
For
But-
uranium?
But the original John D. Rockefeller had his kind of getaway out there in State College, and it's in my Substack somewhere. But it was when they took over the coal mines. Coal had become the kind of the commodity for industrialization for the railroads.
Was that a source of uranium as well? Like oil-
Later,
oil?
now lithium.
Yeah.
In
and-
those same mines now, lithium, they're trying to close the coal mines and go to lithium. And also, that's the place you want to put small modular reactors if you're going to be doing AI. AI has huge compute demand. So putting a data center near a place that's underground, the chance of you getting radioactive detection is much less. And there's a lot of companies right now trying to do small to medium reactors for AI. For these very compute intensive applications. So this is amazing.
Williamston Township. That'd have been it. Williamston
Go
Township.
to my Substack and just Google Rockefeller. It'll talk about it. But what's interesting about the Rockefeller connection? No, that's not it. It's like a falling water. They put in a whole thing.
But State College. Yeah, back to so it's interesting out there.
investing with the Pinkertons. Pinkertons were named after kind of an English fancy man's name with a pinky ring kind of thing. But they were tough thugs. They were, scab union busters. Those same people from the Pennsylvania coal mine wars go out when they did union busting in Western Pennsylvania. Those same people go out and become the key guys in the oil when they were trying to keep oil under Rockefeller. And then they go out to Idaho during the gold rush in Idaho, bigger gold rush than both Alaska and California put together. So this Rockefeller thread, and then blaming the victim, they attack the victim and then they blame the victim. This sort of thing goes all the way back to the coal wars in Western Pennsylvania with Rockefeller. So isn't it interesting that Rockefeller's girlfriend of John D. Rockefeller IV at Novi, her number one showcase place was Novi Showcase. Her apartment wasn't very far from there. It's amazing how these things just keep walking in their same footsteps, you know, in this scenario.
Well, and we hope Trump.
I mean,
And also-
you're talking about Paul Webb. Paul Webb's not important. You know, the president went and got him, and the vice president went and got him, but he's not important. Oh, really?
Paid Putin $1 billion for him.
$1 billion, right? That's important. That's important because they need him right now, right, to run these dark forces, covert actions right now. That's why they went and got him
After Crooks missed.
after Crooks mixed, after Ruth was discovered.
Oh, Whalen was after the Ruth thing too? I thought Whalen was between
No,
Crooks and Ruth.
Between, yeah, that's right. He was-
I think the Crooks miss was very much like, you know,
Shit.
enough of the small timers here, guys. Go get us, you know.
It was supposed to be Lee Harvey Oswald improved, right? We're going to have a witness of the shooting. You know, we're going to have Crooks. What are you doing on the roof? We're going to have a TMZ video. Crooks, what are you doing on the roof? You know, like whoever heard of such a thing. We're going to have the shots fired. We're going to have incriminating photos. It was all the things that they didn't have with Lee Harvey Oswald's lone gunman. Okay, where are we at, Aaron?
We're on the Substack. Our sound may not be as good. Our sound man is coming, folks. It's been a long process here. Our sound man will be here today. He's on his way here.
I think
when
when
Carol
Carol,
will be coming to provide better sound and assistance.
yeah, it's probably because I have the computer in between me and the microphone as well.
Who knows? I turned it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're improving every day.
Let's finish off. The sound is choppy, breaking up. Okay, that may or may not be true. So why don't we go to because you know when they get those fake fake people.
We're on the Substack.
NSA troll. No, what I was going to say is let's go to the comments of Dave.
Okay.
Dave Underdown.
Because he was just commenting about Betsy Foss when you guys were mentioning the Department of Education.
Very good.
You know,
Orlando Magic. See where we're at Orlando Magic? Which
hilarious team name.
the whole idea of Disney, right? The whole idea of Magic Mountain comes from a Thomas Mann novel called Magic Mountain. It was the original Magic Mountain was Davos. Davos was going to be the place where world government happened. Why world government? Because they had a constitutional basis? No, because they had a magical foundation. Magic. It's magic, right? Thomas Mann wrote Magic Mountain. It is the original plan made for Casa del Freitas.
Original prize. This is with the Doritos.
Yeah.
This is when we were talking about the Doritos there.
Casa de Fritos at Disneyland in Anaheim. Did you know that?
I did not know the history of Doritos.
The project was made at Disneyland. Did you know that? No. So maybe this is Disney. But the whole idea of the World Economic Foundation, the 2030, Klaus Schwab, Great Reset, all Thomas Mann, all Magic Mountain, right? If you build it, they'll come.
It was all SRI and Men's Corporation too. It wasn't just Disney.
The movie, If You Build It, They'll Come, which is the cornfield, and only magical things can come out of the cornfield. We actually recreated down Summerfield Road. We created the same cornfield. No, actually, it just grew all by itself. God's magic, right? The real magician, right? Not magic, just reality. But we're going to have the founding fathers come out of the corn and approve our work as we're doing the war gaming. The next 12 days, we're going to have the founding fathers coming out of the corn, not ball players who we're trying to indemnify for cheating in a World Series. That's what the whole movie's about, indemnifying people who cheated, right? No, those are 29 Black Sox were getting honked outside for our flag. No, we're going to tell you the true story of Magic Mountain. The true Magic Mountain is not Terrence Mann. It's right here. It's right here. So
I was scrolling here to see if I can find any more Paul Whelan videos. That was about 3 weeks ago. It might be hard to.
what are we missing, guys?
Snag here, right?
What did we miss?
But yeah, what do we think? Can we keep Trump alive until? It's not just the election. I mean, they'll do the election. Who knows what's going to happen there? And then
We
got to
keep-
get him
We
inaugurated.
keep disrupting these kidnappings and renderings and assassinations. Everybody says, well, see, it didn't happen. Well, we wouldn't be doing the broadcast if we didn't want to prevent it, right? I mean, so you're kind of crediting us for good work. Thanks. We appreciate your resounding endorsement. We
It
appreciate
happened
it.
before with the slaughter pen years ago that you called out, and it didn't happen.
Which one was that?
It was the one after J6.
Oh, J6.
No, not after that. The next one. There was
Oh,
one-
September 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 18th. We called out. We said, oh, here comes. Here comes a person to go to all the gun owners to try to pull guns, right? Because
Well, you did both of them.
yeah, I did both. But, you know, there was a total slaughter pen that had been
Yeah,
set up. They had
right.
set up all the garbage trucks all over Washington, D.C. We couldn't get out. It was a total slaughter pen. What do we plan now?
This is just the showcase. So it's on mute. I'm just showing
That's a
everybody.
showcase. I did another video of the showcase much closer, and it got taken down.
Right. I was looking for that, but it says in your caption here, it got taken down. So Twitter took that down?
Yeah,
I guess.
it got taken down. I had a picture of the front of it, said Novi Showcase. I guess that's hate speech toward showcases.
It is a peculiar venue. for
I wasn't
Trump
the
to be
one who
in.
did the gun shows there and posing with the AK-47 and the Kalashnikovs. I wasn't the one doing that. That was Butina and Paul Whelan and 12 Russians every 2 years in an election cycle. It was not me. So,
But if folks want to come, if you've never been to a Trump rally, or if you have been to a Trump rally and you want to come to a swing state and join us and join the crew, we'll be sending some of our researchers, certainly George and some of the charrette attendees will be heading up there. A few of us will hang back.
did you see here
broadcast here?
our
But,
Pittsburgh citizen journalist just late breaking news that Feder Gulen has died?
He was the one with the schools in the Flynn. Didn't Flynn have something to do with Gulen?
Big time. Flynn was working with Feder Gulen, and supposedly that was going to be the assassination. I can't remember. Feder Gulen was the one who was taking all the money and putting it into caches. It was American Gladio, where they were caching the weapons all over through all the schools. They were training all the kids to be the warriors. And then Gulen had the big weapons cache out, and we went to it. I went to it with the filmmaker from.
Yeah, he died 2 days ago. Turkish Muslim scholar, preacher, leader of the Gulen movement, who as of 2016 had millions of followers. Gulen was an influential neo-Ottomanist. So what he wanted to
Saylorsville. We went to Saylorsville.
The Ottoman Empire.
Yeah. So what he was going to
Empire.
lead, there was going to be a great culling of red hats. They were going to go supposedly shoot all the red hats, right? Trump supporters and vile white supremacists. You're a vile white supremacist, aren't you? The
Saylorsburg,
Cafe LA kids, right? This was going to be the Civil War. They were going to start. This is why Mike Flynn knew him so well. They were going to start the Civil War and say it was Muslim uprising.
I heard something about Flynn got taken off of Twitter yesterday, the day before.
Did he? Well, the reason is they don't need Twitter. They don't need Twitter anymore. They don't need Gulen anymore because they have presidential authorization to use DoD snipers now. They don't have to have a cover story anymore, right? We covered Muzzafar Awan here in Detroit. He was actually in Pontiac, if you remember. We covered Muzzafar Awan, who was doing all kinds of wacky experiments with drug experiments. There was cancer drugs who were doing at Beaumont Health. Lapeer, remember all those people that died in Lapeer from overdoses with fentanyl? Who, all of a sudden, Scott McMahon shows up in Lapeer, Michigan. We'd love to have you come down, Scott. It's only a couple hours. You think McMahon's FBI?
I remember there wasn't a McMahon.
That's different. Yeah, it's with an O-N at the end. Yeah, this is an A-N. But Scott McMahon is a journalist. We'd love to have him come down. How's the shred house? We don't have enough showers.
We got space. We got space.
Anybody wants people coming in?
He's on Twitter.
Scott McMahon from Lapeer, Michigan. The fentanyl deaths. Remember, we had 4 or 5 fentanyl deaths all right in a row in Beaumont Health System. We were covering. Who was the guy who ran the Beaumont Health System? Top donor to Hillary Clinton. Top donor to Hillary Clinton. He was top.
The one who's in Texas.
Yeah, the one
who's also in Texas.
Yeah,
and he does
and
more.
I went to his office and we did a live shot outside of his office. He would pack us. Javid. Yeah, he's a long time viewer knows to hear Javid. Yes,
there we go.
Long time to hear Javid. Yeah, we went to his office, ISI 111 office in Beaumont, Texas, in front of all the oil wells, because the Rockefellers use Muslim Brotherhood as a front organization for taking over oil. But anyway, he then left and went back to Pakistan after we went to his office in Beaumont, Texas. The power of citizen journalism, right? He's the one who had all the companies for, that wasn't like cannabis. He had spirits. He had all the vape, the Juul vape. He had all the vaping, everything you possibly wanted if you wanted to test something on the especially the military population, right? If you wanted to, he had the meat, he had the meat growing operation.
Or was it meat?
Well, he also had the halal
Was
meat.
the halal meatless meat too?
No, it's just bloodless meat where they drain the blood. But
Sometimes they ship drugs or money in.
yeah, but the interesting thing was they were going to make sure that the Muslim soldiers in our U.S. they were going to have an Allah Day where they were all going to come to the call of Allah to attack the Trump hats, right? There was be this great, fatwa against all the. They've had a few of these where they've had the Muslim attack, green underneath attacks, but that was out of Beaumont, Texas, and I can't remember the name of the company now that he ran. But he would. How would a guy? So the CEO of Ice Health Systems. He's the CEO of Health Hospital Systems. He's also doing vape. He's also doing hard alcohol. He's also doing these cigarettes from Dakar, these really strong Egyptian cigarettes, or maybe there were cashmere.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at graphics there.
Cashmere. I'm trying to remember the Casablanca, Moroccan cigarettes. Yeah, it's like he was doing everything that you would not do as a CEO unless you were testing on the population. And also all the weapons were stored in the United States for all the different militias, for all the different state militias. The place they come in and out was Beaumont, right? And he was Beaumont, Texas.
From Mexico or air?
Just overseas, and they ship out to basic places where CIA wanted to do overthrows, and that's why he was there. So anyway, just interesting aside, there was a lot of reporting we did on to here, Javid, a long time ago. But now they don't need that anymore. They don't need Muslim fronts anymore. So now Gulen is dead.
Or is it because the Muslims have come over to the Trump side?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
They're no longer voting for Hillary. That's interesting. We went to the Muslim Society of North America, the Islamic Society of North America. We went to ISNA in Indianapolis, where they had a weapons store. We went to the one mosque in Virginia, which was Al Hijra Mosque, where the 9/11 hijackers were. We went to a lot of different ones. We went to a lot of different mosques.
You notice there's a trial with the Delphi, Indiana thing right now? That's like playing out right now, ironically, in the midst of the
Not
election.
far from here.
Yeah, but that's why you went there, right? The Delphi, Indiana murders, the girls was what ultimately brought you there, and then that research got uncovered.
Yeah, who was the president? Mitch Daniel, who was the governor of Indiana, and he was the president of Purdue at the time. We said it was a compromise operation in Lafayette, where the girls were being abducted in small towns and then being taken to an initiation thing in Lafayette. Mitch Daniels covered the whole thing up.
Yeah, that wasn't the only place that was going on.
No.
North Dakota.
Yeah.
It was in
Yeah.
a lot of rural places, and they were mostly native back in
Indian, and also Big Ten schools. It was like a Big Ten infiltration operation. Yeah, we did what was the gal's name there? Oh gosh, I'm German. German, one of the names. And then the little girl who had the garroting, with her head had been popped off from the garroting, Libby. Yeah. And they had, the amazing thing about this case is they had a 9/11 tape of her and the kids running away from the assailant, which was never played to the people of the United States. Why not? Why would they withhold that? Because there was a CIA operative that was running that compromise operation year after year, and they just got the last dope to be a part of it. The dope they got was the guy who worked at the pharmacy, I remember doing that story 8 years ago, but the guy who worked at the pharmacy is the dope they got, who was just giving out drugs to one of the people that were trying to drug the kids. The drugs didn't work, by the way. James Woolsey fell out of his chair when he's put that
Okay. Let's see here.
James Woolsey fell out of his chair again, October surprise, when Mike Flynn was told about the kidnapping plot. Mike Flynn supposedly wanted to kidnap Feta Gulen, two partners, pair pulling. They worked together forever on information operations and gun caching operations in the United States. So supposedly Flynn wanted to kidnap Feta Gulen. This came up at the Flynn trial, by the way. I was there. This whole thing wasn't about Trump. It was about Feta Gulen, supposedly.
Harry the Greek had some exposés, some great breaking exposés back when.
But you see what they do? They're cleaning the board. Flynn's out now. Feta Gulen is out now. Woolsey, ex-CIA director, is out now. And now they're going right to the military to take out Trump. No artifices or front men now. They're going straight to the military. We're going to do a military rendering of Trump. Again, watch the Novi police officers with fake Paul Whelan police officer uniforms abducting Trump. He gets into a RFK, and be a small area where he's meeting kitchen staff or whatever the wait staff is. This is Trump's Achilles heel. He always goes and meets the common people. He always shakes the hand. It's always a small room. It's always an area where they can control the room, a pre-planned area. That's where Trump is rendered. Just like RFK. Just like RFK. If it's inside, if it's outside, it's going to be the JFK. If it's outside, it's going to be the JFK. He had explosion. 3 dead, 4 injured, suicide bomber, shooters. Where's the suicide shooting occurred?
I don't know. I was looking.
Dave also says Mitch Daniels was the head of the Hudson Institute that trained Carter Page how to speak Russian with Nellie Orr there at the Hudson Institute. That was also started by Herman Kahn, who was the guy who ran the Rand Corporation, like you said, which has done every false flag in American history. I remember this one time at band camp. Eric Prince's sister's husband bought William Beaumont Hospitals. That's right. Spectrum Health. That's right. Dave's right. Spectrum Health, which is what's her name? Eric Prince's sister. Which what's her name?
Her father-in-law or dad.
No, Eric Prince's sister.
Yeah,
DeVos, Betsy DeVos. Yes, thank you.
Dad owns the health, doesn't he?
He owns Spectrum Health.
Yeah.
Betsy DeVos' dad.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was Betsy DeVos as the CEO.
Well, maybe she isn't.
But remember the original Trump supposed hackers that were brought in, again, Russian nurses, again, probably Paul Whelan, in Grand Rapids, were Spectrum Health, where they were trying to fake the Trump communicating with the Alpha Bank.
No, I do.
Yeah, with the Trump Hotel. They found one loose old IP address in the Trump Hotel. They were trying to use that Umbridge. They were trying to use the hacking tool called Umbridge to make it look like Trump. Again, another October surprise. They were trying to make it look like Trump was talking to the Alpha Bank.
You're right.
It was really the Spectrum Health.
Is that where Stain Eric Sturhog came in the story? No, that's something else at the Trump Hotel.
No, he
is
wanted to
what he
assassinate. Stain Eric Storhog was a.
Is this the same story?
Yeah. No.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's close though. We think Stain Eric Storhog was the one who had the girls go in and put the bug onto Trump's hotel's server. They had identified an old server, which was the Trump hotels. It was a holdover from the first floor on Trump Hotel, where Jesse Jackson had rented room for free for the Rainbow Coalition, and Trump had given a couple of IP addresses and servers to. Yeah, and it was a holdover from that. And then Trump Resorts vacations moved into that second floor. All the other muckety-mucks at Trump real estate are high up in the Trump Tower. This was low on the Trump Tower. But anyway, what was the Peace Breath in Utah that was a CIA guy, worked for Mitt Romney, Cheese Breath. McMullen, yeah, McMullen. McMullen was the guy who took advantage of the server, and that they put one of the Umbridge endpoints there to make it look like Trump was talking to the Russians, and then Biscuit Boy, Alpha Bank and Biscuit Boy. I can't remember Biscuit Boy's name, but Biscuit Boy was a billionaire with Alpha Bank, and they were trying to make it look like Trump was getting billions from Biscuit Boy right before the election. And that was also done by a university professor here at Michigan State that Erin's wearing right now. She was the one who did the analysis that Trump was getting billions at the last minute from Russia. But all that was run on Spectrum Health, and they left in any kind of attack where you're trying to make it look like one person's talking to another. There's a man in the middle, they call it, and that they left the man in the middle pings in the pings, so you could see every 10th ping was the Spectrum Health. You know, it led you right to Nancy DeVos running the operation. It was amazing. So people might not remember that. Where's the drone manufacturing?
I don't know. You know, I'm trying to get something on that. I'm not seeing it. So maybe
Mitch Daniels also did Nunn-Lugar. Oh my goodness gracious. Nunn-Lugar, if you remember, is the Nuclear Threat Institute, the NCI Institute. And that's the people who say the only way the American people could be moved is through mass formation psychosis, through false flags. You never, ever want to build a coalition. You never want to have debate. You never want to have open forum. You always want to do mass formation psychosis, right? You always want to do false flags.
Well,
So-
that Nunn-Lugar was involved in the early bioweapons stuff in Ukraine.
Bringing the scientists here.
Yeah, so that kind of speaks to maybe it is a false flag. Well, you know, a lot of it is.
Yeah, that's coming.
Mhm.
Where are the 3 dead and 14 injured, Aaron?
I don't know. I can't find it. Maybe our commenter there can help add some information. I'm not,
Arthur, tell us where
I'm not
the
seeing
where
where
the
this
3 dead and the
happened.
14 injured are. And then Gulen related. Oh, I see. He's saying that there could be operatives, the Turkish operatives that came out of Saylorsburg could be responsible for the 3 dead and the 14 injured and the suicide bomber and the shooters. That should be pretty Amway. Oh, Dave is also saying there's an Amway connection to Nancy DeVos,
Yes.
which there certainly is.
Yeah.
And Amway was a classic way of CIA running gun money and drug money through and laundering drug and gun money through a whole bunch of a distributed network of bank accounts. Makes it much more difficult to track.
That's what Resorts International was too.
Trump's Resorts International for Wilbur Ross and the Rothschild Bank used Resorts International and Trump Hotels to do the exact same thing. That's correct. I might call in John late here. I might
We were
call.
talking about a call-in show, and I asked the people in the chat if we had a call-in show, would they call?
I might call in, John. Okay, yeah. Well, absolutely. Well, the great Andy Dybala, probably number 2 man in comedy news now that, right? The number 1 man is Mike Church. Mike Church and the Crusade Network. There's nobody funnier. John Stewart's now. Oh, Ankara. There's a bombing in Ankara, suicide bombing in Ankara.
That's the one Arthur's talking about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and that is the Gulen connected.
Turkish Aerospace Industries drone facility.
Sibel Edmonds, who used to be an interpreter for the FBI, was connected to managing the contacts for American Gladio and Gladio B in Ankara, and she was a big exposer of Feta Gulen. Is somebody call Sarasota right now and see if she's okay? Somebody call. Wait a minute, she's down in Naples. Somebody call her and make sure she's okay. Let's see. Turkish Aerospace Industries drone facility is what was blown up.
We are in the drone wars nowadays. I mean, the whole Ukraine thing is just for them to test out all the new drone technology and get some of these drones, or let's blow up some of these tanks, but we still have an insurance policy on them and test out all of our new drone.
Turkish
toys,
Aerospace
and-
Industries is well known for commuting and consorting with Iran, the
Mhm.
government of Iran, and exfiltrating plans of advanced DARPA designs to Iran. And then Iran has codified and molded and shipped these advanced weapons to Russia. And Russia is talking about, is using these things currently right now in Ukraine. So there's a Ukraine connection to this bombing. There's a Ukraine connection.
Shooting. I think it's a shooting, not a bombing.
Well, they said
shooting.
suicide bombing as well.
Oh, maybe he shot and then he blew himself up. Oh, suicide bomber and shooters reported, not confirmed.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to get Sibel's take on that. Turkish Aerospace Industries. You check it. The CFT AI doesn't have a connection to Iran. I bet you they do. A Hezbollah connection to Iran.
Well, we've been going an hour. You want to give final thoughts, and then we'll come back later this afternoon for
Well, Dave,
an afternoon
I don't want to
broadcast.
miss the jewels. I mean, I don't want to be accused of, your pearls before swine. Dave Undertown throws these diamonds and pearls on your feet, and then you're just running and, so interested in the carrots that you miss the pearls. So just real quickly, her husband started the Orlando Magic. Now, whose husband started the Orlando Magic?
Oh,
Is that Heinz? No.
Ross?
Gulen?
Well, hopefully Dave will come visit us here soon, and we can just,
And Arthur Stone says 100%, George, possible Kurdish involvement too. Interesting. Okay, we'll get back to that story. We'll follow up on that, Arthur. Excellent. Arthur, I believe, is in the UK.
International, our
Mustard
international
seeds are valuable.
Turkish aerospace
Just do a
industries.
Control F for Iran in the Turkish TAI.
Nothing in the Wikipedia, but that doesn't tell us anything. I mean, should stop using Wikipedia, right?
Do a Control F for Wales. He's in Wales. Do a thing for drone, TAI drone.
There you go. Drones.
I don't think they just do target drones. I think they have a killer drone. Can just do a combination search for
Tactical
TAI.
surveillance drone.
Yeah.
Short range tactical ISTAR, ISTAR.
Yeah, the
drone,
ISTAR.
Target drone for tracking and non-firing.
ISTAR.
exercise,
ISTAR tactical means kill.
Mm-hmm.
ISTAR.
Tactical ISTAR drone.
Yeah. You remember Ishtar? Remember Warren Beatty and Al Pacino? No, Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman did Ishtar. Right? That went nowhere. This is Ishtar. This is going somewhere.
Ishtar is Easter. You know, it's
Yeah. But remember, they were going to be the three wise men going across the desert. It was Warren Beatty and
yeah.
who was it? Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman. Right, Ishtar. So the Ishtar is, yeah.
These guys are big time, yeah. This is definitely a very
This is a big story.
yeah.
You heard it first on there was the drone. That's right out of MQ-9 Reaper. That's an MQ-9.
You want this one? What, this one or this one?
Back one. That's
This.
an MQ-9 Reaper.
That one right there. Huh?
That's a direct knockoff of the MQ-9 Reaper. John knows this. John's aerospace. He knows this. Remember the first MQ-1 Reaper didn't have the Hellfire missile, and then they juiced it up. And when they went to sell it to the Qataris, and they put like 4 Hellfires on it, and they increased the range you could fly. Remember the MQ-9? They flew all the way with the fake Corona test kits, all the way from
South
Korea, all the way to Governor Hogan at the beginning of the fake pandemic. Yeah, there's the MQ-9 Reaper.
So General Atomics has been exfiltrating their technology to these guys, no doubt.
Yeah, General Atomics.
State of
So General Atomics, that's our good friend Henry Crown and the Chicago mob, right?
Right. So of course, I mean, they're just there to exfiltrate, to just make sure that all the
constant warfare, constant.
Once you uncover that Imran Awan, pipe from the Library of Congress to Faisalabad, they needed to come up with
Pakistani Ordnance Factory, and then Pakistani Ordnance Factory exfiltrated it to everybody wearing shoes.
Damn it, this guy Webb found our server in the Blackberries that's been sending all this Library of Congress intellectual property over to Faisalabad. What are we going to do now?
We have
one of them.
This is horrible, and we're gonna get taken down off YouTube.
Why?
But there's one of these drone factories. We were told they have Sunni. Oh no, this is what the guy told us in at the Iraqi guy. He said there was push starts and pull starts between the Shiites and the Sunnis. This is an Iraqi Christian that told us this, right? Just a couple of days ago. But he said that the ones that push the button in the front are the push starts, and then the ones with the turbines are the pull starts. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what was told to us by people on the front line. So we're going to leave it right there. What else do we got from Dave?
From Doritos to drones.
From Doritos to drones.
You cover it all here, and we'll be.
Gosh, we have fun. This is fun. We get to.
One more thing, George.
Yeah.
I would expect that permissible assistance.
Permissible assistance.
After talked about somewhat in the alternative media, I would think that the Pentagon, someone at the Pentagon or one of the governors would have a comment on it. And I haven't seen any.
Well, we'll get John, and John will be our host to do the health show, which is, we don't know what the name of it's going to be, but we're going to be doing holistic health here after the election. So John will be doing that along with Mark will be doing, and Carol on the health piece, and then Dr. V in the middle there. He's a biochemistry grad, so we don't know all.
Lots of great content coming at you here. As long as we still have a republic after the election, then
as long as we have a republic,
the
he'll be
content
doing
will be
well.
cornucopia of content. Will
So
be
I'll
coming.
still be doing stealth. John will be doing health. The three, all those three, health and stealth, and then Mark will be doing wealth. But the question you had is, where's the public comments about permissible assistance? And I think they're trying to bury it.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, Biden alluded to vis-a-vis,
Mhm.
you know, that, but they're not. They're saying Trump is trying to stop shoot and kill. If you go back and play that thing again, he says Trump's trying to stop shoot and kill.
When they just put it in.
They just put it in last month, September. So maybe play us out.
Play us out with Joe.
Give me your muscle.
Sleepy Joe and his comments.
Remember, I am the Frito Bandito. Now, there is a school of thought. I'm just going to give you the Frito Bandito, knowing now what we know on how the first Frito was made in Disneyland. Is it an original Nazi scheme to take up all the, build a fatherland in the middle of Florida and build a fatherland in the middle of Los Angeles, right? Orange County. I mean, your footprint. We went to all the different Nazi places in Los Angeles. Remember,
Yes, we did.
in the side of the mountains and so
Reedy
forth.
Creek zoning area.
Yeah. They just polluted Reedy Creek, and now that was originally. If you go to where is it in Florida? Wayne Madsen was telling me the kind of the Nazi thing, Nazi town over by Tampa. That wasn't Lakewood. I'm trying to remember.
Stannis took a lot of their power
Yeah.
over, I guess, over
The Disney
their
Corp.
behavior.
Yeah. For the pollution of Reedy Creek. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm trying to remember. I'll remember. It's at the end of the end of the Tampa, St. Petersburg. But it's not St. Petersburg, where they were doing the Nazi enclave.
Tampa could have been
I think maybe St. Petersburg.
Canal Park.
There was one in New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey had a big one.
Camp, that air travel.
What's the German town just north of here where we had the north of Flint, the German town? Frankenmuth. Yeah, we had the Oxford shooter, not far from Frankenmuth. I'm German as German can be. German, half English, so I'm not.
I remember Toledo's money just moved out when Governor Richard Celeste changed the inheritance laws. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember our senator from Ohio, he moved to Florida to die. Okay.
So he didn't have to pay his own taxes.
Right, and that's what happened. That's what happened to all the weather. It all moved like Naples. You want to find Toledo, go to Naples, Florida.
Right. That was the end of the train line.
Yeah.
That was the end of the train line. That was your train line. Yeah, Howard Metzenbaum, right?
So when
Okay.
you were growing up in Cleveland, this would have been a senator from Ohio, and
Yes.
that's where.
He wasn't.
We should go to Frankenmuth. We should go up to Frankenmuth because a lot of the Franken events seem to maybe come out of Frankenmuth. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump or Vance hits Frankenmuth here in the next 9 days.
Waterford. How far is Waterford from Frankenmuth?
Probably another hour.
Probably
Yeah.
another hour. Yeah.
But they might go to Frankenmuth itself. Who's to say? I guess. But
Yeah.
here we'll go
Go
through.
to Oscoda.
Go to Oscoda. Vertical takeoff.
Yeah.
Who said vertical takeoff has a monopoly on space flight? Horizontal takeoff. Oscoda, and they were also anthrax.
Yeah.
Remember Harris's dad, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, the shooters
Right.
in Aurora, came from the father was the Mr. Anthrax pilot at Oscoda. Yeah. I can't remember his first name.
Well, we'll be halfway there tomorrow in Waterford, Michigan. Folks who want to visit with the neighborhood news crew and George Webb, Waterford, Michigan tomorrow for JD Vance. Friday, I do not think we'll go through our little tentative itinerary here. I do not think we'll be able to make it to Traverse City for Friday night. That is pretty far.
That's pretty far.
But then, of course, Novi on Saturday. We'll all be there at the Suburban Showcase Saturday in Novi. Hopefully, Trump will have a safe and effective rally there in Novi.
Pearls before swine alert. Pearls before swine. We can always
boy.
get accused of pearls before swine if we don't pick up the pearls. Pick up the diamond Durclods. Here's Dave Underdown saying, did Walt Disney create Mickey Mouse and snatch the best chip maker in all of Mexico?
I don't know.
What does that mean? Because we're going to get accused of being pearls before swine if we don't
Yeah, here we'll
is
display all the comments. Thank you for all your great comments as we ramp up here and continue to.
Dave, what
build
chip
our
maker
new-
are you talking about?
It must be Dorito, right? I mean,
Oh,
I'm sure we're
I
still
was
talking
thinking
about-
silicon chips. I was thinking Intel.
No. We're
Frito Bandito. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yep. So Trump and Novi Saturday, please join us if you are in the area and would like to join us. And we'll always be here at the studio too, at the corner of Summerfield and Secor.
We have a Welsh watcher and listener with Arthur, and we will be going to How Green Is My Valley at some point. We'll be playing the John Huston film How Green Is My Valley. We're gonna have a watch party. We're gonna have a watch party on War Game.
Oh yeah, the Peter Strzok.
Peter Strzok thing, because that says what Joe Biden says here, which is we need to have DoD snipers shooting peaceful protesters.
Is that tonight?
We're going to probably do a watch party at 9 o'clock. John's going to be running the watch party. We're going to be DoD snipers for permissible assistance. And I'm hearing a great
That's just our folks outside buying flags.
buying flags coming in.
This is a 94-minute film here.
We probably should do a watch party with everybody. If people want to do a watch party with everybody, we can do a stop and go watch party.
Well, we're worried about getting canceled, but if we do it on Zoom, you can take the best
Clips?
and then broadcast them.
Right. Fair use.
You're already.
Fair use.
Let's see how much of this I can handle. War Game sweeps audiences into an elaborate future set simulation that dramatically escalates the threat posed by the January 6th, 2021 insurrection. The film follows a bipartisan group of U.S. defense intelligence and elected policymakers spanning 5 presidential administrations as they participate. And do I have this on screen? Good. Okay.
Bipartisan. Project for a New American Century. Everybody who is bipartisan is Project for a New American Century. Go ahead.
As they participate in an unscripted role-play exercise portraying a fictional president of the United States and his advisors, they confront a political coup backed by rogue members of the U.S. military in the wake of a contested 2024 presidential election. Geez, so this really is just like for the insiders. Hey guys, this is how we're going to do this when it goes down.
I'm not sure
Because it's not like anybody watched this movie other than
it's out on video.
It's out on video. All right, fair enough. Like actors in a thriller, but with profound real-world stakes, the players have only 6 hours to save American democracy. The simulation's outcome hinges on several inflection points, from the government's capacity to counter the disinformation that effectively spread by the insurgent side to the potential invocation of the Insurrection Act, i.e. the nuclear option, quote unquote, the nuclear option. While the exercise served to stress test our institutions, the film is a critical wake-up call, underscoring the urgent need for bipartisanship in safeguarding American democracy.
Speaking of that, if you watch the trailer, we can play the trailer. Let's play the trailer because they talk about flooding the zone. And this is what our Dr. Columbus was talking about. Dr. Goodbye Columbus gave us the warning that this was going to be the election where they flood the zone with AI bots.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're seeing.
I think we're seeing it.
It's happening.
He
right
said,
now.
"Yeah, this is happening."
And that's why we have to do all these workarounds every day, new workarounds, but we're still getting it out there, even if it's a small audience.
Do you think they're going to flood the zone with lock him up?
Yeah.
Just thousands, millions of AI bots would lock him up. Here we go.
Oh, like they'll just say,
Lock
there's
him up.
a huge public outcry to have Trump locked up. Look at
Yeah.
all the people asking for it.
Justification. Yeah.
This is on mute right now. It's not playing, so we can keep talking to us. People want to see when Carol's talking. People want to see Carol. So I was tilting to Carol there. All right, so we'll play this on the way out.
Play on the way. I think what we do is we play because Andy's coming, right? We play Andy's garage band.
Oh, I'll play that for the ending for sure. But we'll play this, and I'll play the ending. And it's about 1:45. So
but Steve Bullock there. You saw Steve Bullock. He's the governor of first Democratic governor of Montana, and I don't know how long. He plays the president. And the only place this thing was playing for the longest time, since February to now till October, was in New York or LA or like Bozeman, Montana. You know, and the capital of Montana is Helena, right? There was only places it was playing in America, and then finally it went out on a pay-per-view at the end of September, and then now October. I think this thing is going to go Netflix finally. This can be an October surprise to justify locking up. Proactively,
Or prepare us for lock them up.
or prepare us for lock them up. But lock them up doesn't. They have to do a lock them up before the election, right? It would, or in the interim.
It could be anytime until inauguration.
Right. Yeah. Continually. Millions of bots, millions of AI bots. We've had a lot of people say the AI bots are already out.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to hear Dr. Columbus, Goodbye Columbus, to hear Goodbye Columbus tell us it's goodbye time. The zone's already been flooded with these AI bots. Are they hearing audio on this?
No, they're not hearing audio.
Let's play it out with audio.
You buy bots with bots, so you just flood the zone with more bots to counter the lock them up. It's like, leave them alone.
Do we
bots.
counter those? Now that's not what Dr. Columbus said. Dr. Columbus said you fight with human iteration and expose the bots. I mean, I don't think he said their AI was so much better than Grok. It's just not even funny. Dr. Columbus, you sat next to Dr. Columbus.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it sound like we're going to win that one. It made it sound like if we try to go AI to AI, we got to go God plus AI plus human iteration.
Yeah, that would be creating the bots, humans creating the bots to outbot.
Okay.
Well, I think
We drive the bots, is what you're saying. Human-driven bots.
Yeah.
Human-driven bots. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I think you're talking about human reason, humans outbotting the bots.
With the AI tools.
With
Yeah,
the AI
yeah.
tools and
Beat them at their own game.
Beat them with their own game. I like
It
that.
was just like in the newspaper circulation war. Okay, you got outsubscribed, out. It's the same as the voting. It's just you got to get 51% of the bots or 52% of the bots being what you want them to be, and or you have bots that can like neutralize these, lock them up. It's like lock you up, like trying to start.
Well, there you have it, folks. When you see a lock 'em up bot, hit it with a lock you up bot. Yeah. There we go.
Any other comments, John? Dr.
Yeah,
B?
wrap up.
We're wrapping it up. All right. Thanks, folks, for joining Neighborhood News today. We'll probably come back at you late afternoon. Another show today, maybe.
Yeah.
Get a couple of them can.
If we have Tara and Andy.
And we might even do Protecting the Nest 2.0, the return of Protecting the Nest. Protect the Nest tomorrow. All right, maybe tomorrow morning. Return to Protect the Nest.
Remember, Tara Star. She'll be back. She'll be here.
Here we go. I'll play the volume on this, and everyone will see you later today. Thanks for joining Neighborhood News.
It is undeniable that this past election was stolen.
She'll sing
For all
somewhere
those members of the armed forces, join with us
under the
to
light.
defend our liberty and land.
Seated around this room is an incredible diversity of professional experience spanning the last 5 presidential administrations. Most of you have sworn under oath to defend the Constitution. What happens when those in uniform break that oath?
January 6th demonstrated a possible false sense of security.
The next insurrection could involve members
That's all right.
of
Let
the
them have
active duty military.
taking us
turning
off
their
screen.
weapons
There we go.
around
We're all
on the
watching
folks
War
that they're
Game
there
now.
to protect.
War
One of the
Game. Join us
recommendations
later
was
this
to
afternoon.
war game what
More
that might
Neighborhood
look
News
like.
and join
I
us.
am President Hoffman,
Well, the
Chief
mic's on. Yeah,
Executive
they can hear
of
us.
the
Now they
United
can't.
States of America.
You have
I hope
6
they're not
hours
missing
to avert a
anything.
civil war and
Yeah,
ensure the
I'm
peaceful transfer of
talking
power.
over the
Mr.
trailer.
President, we are going to be starting the game.
My point on this
here
is
to
we
stress
need to
test our
create
national security system.
alternative.
I want them to be prepared
This is
for the
a-
worst case scenarios.
I think a 2-hour, 90-minute.
Hour and a half.
I
We
have
need to
no
create
idea if at
alternative.
the end of this
In a
exercise, this
dramatic
country
form.
collapses
And
or
says-
comes together.
Where would we like to send a
All
large
filmed
body of
and
armed
recorded like we
crazies?
have already right now.
who are confirming
We have
that
to
there
create-
are
because
National
this
Guard
is
that
all
have in fact let protesters
How many
through.
bots were at Twitter before leaving?
I'm going to flood the zone with fake pictures.
And then you end up
find out what
with
is
a
real
crime
and what
scene.
is
You get rid of like 80% of the people that work there because the AI is compromising and they're just
proceedings.
Oh, you mean Elon?
It is
Yeah.
compromising the proceedings of the election. The entire Congress is still in a bunker.
Now they're playing the game.
Everybody back to the table.
Well, is it real? Is it
You
a
can
bot?
authorize
That's the only
lethal
question.
Pause for a second. Is that correct? You could have
We've
federal.
done it on the southwest border.
He's gonna have to make a decision.
Put your
Now we've smeared all bots, is what you said. If you get a lock him up, you go, well, that's a
A
lock
lot
him
of
up.
senior ranking folks from all 5
And now
presidential
they-
administrations.
I have
Great
the
job.
name, lock
Great
him up.
job.
Okay, I got you.
There you have it.
Okay, there it is.
Can we